Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your boy Huncho. Just doing a quick little recap once again. I'm going to go over the plays that we took today. So the first play that we took was IWM puts. These were 244 puts at 10 a.m. I mentioned these in the premium chat early in the morning. Let me see if I can find it really quick. This was around before 10 here. All right, there we go. So I found it. I say IWM could play nice under pivot, key pivot, right? And the key pivot that I was watching was this 245.78. All right. Now, if you guys see, SPY in the morning was not really nice. It was very choppy and pretty messy, so I wasn't watching it at the moment because I didn't like the movement. And IWM, I was seeing that there was more motion and we were actually breaking out. So once we had the close under the key pivot, I decided to go in puts because I saw a lot of weakness and volume increasing under the key pivot, 245.78. I grabbed puts at 27 cents. So, and these ended up paying over 200%. So this was the play of the day here, fellas. Let me take off the indicators really quick. All right. So right when we lost that key pivot, right, we hit around 30% right here, and then we had a retest, a pullback and retested to that key pivot as well. And I know a lot of people were pretty afraid right here. I don't know if anybody stopped. I hope none of you guys did. I was in this play because that was that was a little spike, just to try to get people to stop out. Since we were under the key pivot, I wasn't going to be looking at closing because I was like, this could just end up, flushing down. And just the way it was, the candle was moving, I was like, yeah, this is definitely going to, this is just trying to hit stops. This is it's going to flush, okay? Especially since we didn't close above the key pivot. And it did as I thought it would. We continued to flush down to 244.65, ripped through that key pivot, retested it again, even hit the key zone of 244. And then we started to, I think I took all my profits around here at this key zone at 244. So yeah, this was a great play, and we ended up dumping even more. So if you held this would have definitely paid a lot more than where I sold at. But yeah, that was the play for IWM. It was a simple breakout play, and then we saw the retest. This would have been a better entry, just to see a straight move down instead of holding through this pullback. So that was IWM. Now with SPY, we ended up playing the bottom on SPY. Well, at least the pop, not the bottom, but where are we at here? All right. Yeah, the 671 calls, this was at 1050. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys why I went in calls here. All right. Yep, 1050. So we got in calls right here. Right when we saw this bounce off of our key pivot 668. And the reason why I got in calls, fellas, is because of where VIX was at as well. Okay, so it looked like a great setup here. So I said SPY and VIX are lined up. Let's see if this pays. Okay, so we saw that nice pop off the key pivot. I wish I would have entered the bottom. And then we had the rejection out of our key zone. So we were seeing that VIX was leaving our key zone of 1917. So I was going to be looking for a move down, and then that was going to help us, look for a move up on SPY. And I did tell everybody to just look for to target 670, not look to hold this, be ready to trim quick, and that's exactly what it did. We hit 670, and then we continue to move down. And I was telling everybody about the flush, that if we can't reclaim 670, that we're going to see 665, and that's exactly what we saw. We kept going down, and look how the levels performed, fellas. We held above the key zone, rejected 668, turned into resistance. We ended up dipping down, breaking under key zone, retesting the key zone, dipping down to 663.52. You guys can look for these levels yourselves. These were not adjusted, after they hit. This is exactly how it performed. So they did pretty well. Held above the key zone. We ended up closing that at 668 key pivot. All right, so levels did great today, guys. That's really what I was just playing today, and what I was watching was SPY and VIX. I was just waiting for that setup on VIX to actually give us that nice that nice confirmation. So that's it, fellas. If you guys have any questions, just make sure to leave a comment, tag me, and I'll get to you real soon. Let's continue banking till the next one.